So some of you might be saying, what the hell is he doing? So what I've done is I've took this height gauge and I've spun it around this way and I've measured. Oh, let's not drop it. Oh, it's going to drop. I've got it on the street. I've measured. I did measure, I promise you. I measured the top of that. I thought it was falling. Then I've measured the top of that, and now you're thinking, why is he going through this amount of hassle? Just put this underneath my arm or something so I don't drop it. The reason why I've done this is because, and I've freed this off now so it slides across nicely. So we bring this across here, and just be careful. Just try and nudge it in. Because when we come to line these up, there's a gap above it and there's not a gap below it. I don't know if you can quite make that out. I don't want to push it any closer, and I've got a height gauge. Let me just press pause for a second and I'll get a better shot. So I'm not certain. Let's see. So can you see the gap above it? And then we come below it and there is no gap. Oh, some dirty paint. I haven't seen that before. Some dirty paint on the bottom of that. So what's happened is the tailstock is a bit low, and what I'm trying to do is work out how much shim I'm going to have to put under the foot of the tailstock. So we have the setup. We've got some preload on this. We're to about 0. Now I'm going to wind the quill out. That's just the movement. It's a bit crap. But as you can see, the quill's winding out. And nothing's really happening. Cool, yeah? Next setup. Bring that in there. Bring it up to 0, give it some wiggles, and then wind the apron across. So it seems to be doing something. That's my expert opinion. That was doing something. So that's the quill wound all the way out to its full extent. Let's put it in half a tooth. So we've got it there at 15, 16, is it? That's really scuppered my idea for what I'm going to do here. Now, how much players are in this? So I can lift it up to there. So if I keep that lifted up, 0. Well, we start there, 18. Let's say 24. So here is the problem. Hope you can see it there. Center height is off. Okay. There we go. Center height is off. And this is what I'm going to do about it. So tonight I've got the height gauge out. Did the measurement on the quill and we saw the droop. So now I've got the height gauge out and basically I've got it set it to 130 millimeters. I've got 0.2 divisions on the gauge and I'm going to bring that down until I feel it touch. And I'm getting pretty much the same every time I do this. Let me get into the centre. Let's put it back a little bit where I can measure it. There, I can measure it there nicely. Well, I was getting the same measurement every time. I am, there we go. So bring it down till it touches, and I'm feeling a bit of resistance in the thimble. And I'm getting a measurement of 134.57 every time, basically. Quite happy. Now, I've done the same thing on the tailstock. I did it fully extended, and I've done it fully retracted. Now, if I measure it at the end here, there's a bit of wear at the end here where the corrosion was. So I've stuck it out a little bit, and I've took it where the shinier section is, where there's less wear. There was no corrosion. And I got some measurements. First measurement I took was on the corrosion. So then I took the measurement off the corrosion, and I got this pretty much every single time. I measured it 2 or 3 times after I got the first measurement of that, and pretty much got the same measurement every time. Pretty much got the same measurement every time on the headstock. As you can see, they're different, and the reason why they're different is because the headstock spindle is a bigger diameter than the tailstock quill. So it's pretty obvious, but I need to spell that out. So now I'm going to measure with a micrometer the exact thickness of, or the exact diameter of the spindle and the exact diameter of the tailstock. That, which will be the radius. So I measure from the radius. So I take the radius away from the height, and that brings me to the centre. And I did the same for this. I take the radius away from the height that I measured at the top, and that brings me to the centre. So that's these calculations here. Whatever. Oh yeah, I got 100.245 is the height at the spindle in the centre. 101.245, and the height at the tailstock at the quill centre is 100.8675mm, making a difference of 0.3775. Now I find that very hard to believe because I'm looking at it, and I'll show you right now. That gap, and as I push it in, you'll see it lifts up and centralises. Okay, can you see that? There we go. And that's supposedly 0.3 of a millimetre. Well, could be. So, well, 0.4 basically. I am going to now make some shims. Extra, if you understand where I'm coming from. And one thing that really puzzles me, what does this hole here do? What is that hole for? Is that for an indicator to go in? I don't know. Looks like loads of tailstocks have that hole, and I don't know what that hole is for. So here, look, we've got a brass shim in, and I didn't have a shim at 370 or 380. The closest I had was 400, so I put 400 in and a 400 in. And I brought the tip up to the tip, or the centre to the centre, and it's still slightly low. So clearly my measurement was off. So I've cut out some 450s or 460s, whatever they are. 457 they measure. Could be 460. They're 400s. For 0.4 of a mil, 0.4 of a mil, 0.45, 0.46 of a mil, But it did look like it needed another 5. If it ends up being 1/2 mil, then I've got 1/2 mil shims as well. So I'm just jacking it up bit by bit. I'm cutting them off like this. I thought this would be the best way. And it's worked out to be the best way, because if I had pissed around making that exactly the right size to fit inside, or cut around everything and it was still too low, I would have been pissed off. But as it was, they're going to take a couple of minutes to cut out. As you can see, I've just cut them with tin snips, stuck it in, sorted.